What's up, my Super Saiyan Blues? AJ here. Hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe so you become Super Saiyan Blue and powerful just like me. And remember what I always tell you, be kind to one another. Peace out, and I love you.
We're not starting until doors close, man.
Bro, they come in when they come in, they don't. We ain't got time for this. People ain't got time to sit around and just wait for bullshit.
Well, let's start fighting.
Let's go. Go ahead, start them up. Who you is?
Who am I? Who am I? Well, I'm Drew from What If Universe. Check me out on youtube.com/C/What If Universe. If you want to check out my stuff, I do what if scenarios, basically on Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, Death Note. At least unless YouTube doesn't demonetize and make it possible to release it to people. But other than that, I do some other cartoons and other stuff occasionally. But if you want to check me out there, feel free to subscribe and check that out.
Alright, Drew. And I'm SSBAce, better known as the Redneck Dragon Ball YouTuber. And also, your voice for Hercule, Dragon Ball GT Abridged. So, that's a project I've been working on with Dragon Ball Network for the last 6 months now. Done one episode so far. We're in the Power Brothers arc right now, and it's trash cans, but whatever, you know. So, we'll get to Hercule eventually.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah. So, take it over.
What, me? Yeah.
So how should we start this? Should we start this with Z, the end of Z, or Super itself?
Well, I think the most logical sense, well, we can't do GT because I'm canon anymore.
Well, that's all fine and dandy, but damn, get to the point. What are we doing here?
Well, we're going to probably cover Z first, and then we'll probably transition to Super, and then we'll just go from there. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me. You know, we first meet him in the Peaceful War Tournament arc. You know, little kid, gonna fight Goku, you know. I tell you what, if I was little Who fighting Goku, I would've ran. Because that dude's a Saiyan, and I'm just a human. Well, I think I'm just a human.
He's gonna beat you up. You're not gonna beat him.
You know? So, I would've ran. But, you know, some people take that as his own, like, arc, you know, as the part of the Trunks saga. No, actually, the Buu saga, I lied. The Buu saga, and the reason we find out that he's the reincarnation of actual Kid Buu, and he has powers and stuff like that, and you know. So when we see him in a tournament, Goku gets Good Buu to change numbers. So, you know, changing those numbers looks like a cheater to me. What do you guys think?
That's right.
Yeah, we're skipping.
I was wondering where you were going.
We're just hopping all around right now. We're just gonna do it off the head now, bro. These papers ain't working for me right now.
You gotta make it up, okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, cause like basically, okay, look, basically, Boo shows up in the tournament. He doesn't know, or Oob shows up in the tournament, doesn't know he's the reincarnation of Boo, right? So Goku basically makes fun of him, calls this dude a big old pile of crap, calls his family trash, and then he starts beating up on Goku, right? So,
I think you're skipping a lot.
well, I'm skipping a lot. Skipping a lot.
You know he
He's
fights
all over the
Knock
place
first,
anyway.
right?
Huh?
None. Sorry.
What'd you say?
None. Sorry.
Hey, you're good, bro. What'd you say?
What do you say? You want to start something?
Oh, no.
And what are you gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, Virginia or some shit, whatever.
I mean, you're not following anything.
So, no, I'm not following anymore because I'm doing it off the top of my head because it's
Yeah, what am I supposed to do?
ride the boat. Ride the boat. Because, like, you know.
Talk about
there's-
what ifs.
What ifs? We will in a
Exactly.
minute. We will in a minute.
That's
We're
what-
gonna get there. One. We're gonna get there. Okay, so. Let's get back to the script if you want to, bro. Sit
Get back to
down,
the
sit
script.
down. All right. So, you're supposed to say,
As a result.
What am I supposed to say?
you're supposed to say, I thought Hercule was the only guy to rig matches. You want to try that one?
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
context we then remember, so at the end of Z, basically Goku convinces Mr. Boo basically to bring the match, and man, that was pretty interesting. I thought I only heard Ghost Guy do that.
Boo must get that from me, the world martial arts champion, Mr. Satan. I mean, it's Goku's damn fault. He's the one that's using smoke and mirrors and shit.
I guess so, but I guess I can take it away from here basically because Goku basically shows his like non-heroic side here. Like,
We all know we all know Goku's a damn cheater.
yeah. And using those smoke and mirrors. But okay, it can be debatable if he's here or not, whatever. But all right, so let's get into this. So, as an important narrative thing, if we consider End of Z as is, so we're not going to include Super for this one segment right here. So End of Z, they just about Boo, just about Kid Boo,
Yep.
and who's left to protect the Earth?
Well, you know, you got Gohan.
Well, he has a family, he's dealing with that. We got the guy in the back rolling his eyes because he doesn't care about the panel. I mean, if you want to leave, just, you're bored. You get roasted in the audience. But anyways, besides that,
Why?
let's see. Who did Goku's thing?
Speak up!
We don't have mics. Sorry.
Well,
So who
it
did
looks
Goku
like-
think of then?
Well, I guess it had to be who? I mean, who else could it be? If Gohan's being a daddy, and Trunks is out playing with Goten or doing whatever he's doing, and Goten's getting whipped up or whatever, who else can it be? I mean, Goku's dead.
Well, that's true. Goten has his social life with Trunks. He's dealing with that. Bulma's probably teaching Trunks how to make a time machine or something. Like, there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on with that. But honestly, I would say Goku would remember it's like, oh, I made a wish to reincarnate that Boo kid into a human. Basically, later in Super, King Yamcha mentions like, oh, Kid Boo has been reincarnated into a child. And later on in the Universal Survival Saga, basically it's brought up by Dende. It's like, oh, we should have Kid Boo been turned to power. And basically, Goku's like being responsible. He's being like well adjusted. It's like, he's too young, man. It's like he can't fight. It's like he's not ready for it. You know, it's like he's too young. He can't be going. And of
The
course,
first time in Goku's life he actually makes a reasonable decision.
related to children.
Yes, related to children.
Well, I don't know. There could be a few more he's done, but let's argue Goku's bad dad another time. Like maybe next year for a panel we could do that.
They're going to cancel us after this one anyway, so.
I mean, I agree. This one's pretty boring, if you ask me.
Is Goku a good parent panel would be great.
Honestly, yeah.
Might have to
I'd
do
probably
that. But that's, you know, that's what happens when you drink. You make halfway made up scripts and do what you've been. No, I'm just kidding. That's actually part of the lines in here, you know.
Some favorite.
So, but if we, you know, to get back on track, I know we've screwed around enough and that's been fun.
Well, speaking of Goten again,
Let's
like,
get
you
back
know
on
how
track.
strict Chi-Chi is? Like when she
Yeah.
hired that one dude that basically just whipped Gohan, like, dang, that thing was...
But why you bring up child abuse?
That's not even the line.
I know, but child abuse, you know, that's gonna. So Super would have to fix Goof's power scaling along with other Z fighters.
That is true.
They would have to explain why they got weaker at the end of Z.
And
You
that,
know, because at this point in time in the manga and whatnot, Goku's base form is what Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, maybe Ultra Instinct. I don't freaking know it now.
that is true. It's not
He changes
discussed.
colors of his hair like I change my
Yeah.
underwear. So there's that.
Yeah, it's true. It's not discussed in the when they're fighting, like where they're actually at, because we don't know
That's it. Yeah.
if Goku is necessarily holding back or not. Like we don't know exactly where he's scaling. Like we can only estimate from
Well,
what
power
we see.
levels
and
were
what we're
bullshit
told.
since Frieza Saga, so.
I mean, considering how Toriyama treated it, like honestly, I kind of wish they were there so we knew what the answer was. But
Well, I
we
feel
really have to guess
that's-
because we got nothing. Like we're
That's
just
a-
fans.
Yeah,
we
a
don't
valid
know
point.
anything.
A valid point, but Toriyama forgot about launch for what, 17 years?
Man, that was a disappointment. Like, I really felt like she could have had some sort of potential. Like, you remember when Tien was looking up with her? Like, that could have actually went somewhere, you know?
A bunch of three-eyed little
have been complete
Two
worse scene.
forearms. That's you, blonde hair.
Now that would be kind of cute, honestly.
Would you want that though?
I would want
Kid
that.
gets hay fever and all of a sudden you're getting your ass kicked?
I would say something interesting to point out here that we didn't talk about is that we'd have to figure out a reason for Oops to be stronger technically after Super. Because do you remember the part in the War arc where basically he's holding out his hand because Boo shows up? And Oops like, I don't know what the heck's going on. Is this a dream or something?
Yeah, that's what happens when you drink too. You think you're dreaming all the time.
Hey, good.
What?
Good. Let me tell you about that.
Dude. You wouldn't let me drink before I came. What do you expect?
I guess that is true.
Jesus.
It's part of it, folks. Don't worry, we're not actually fighting. Anyways, I need to get drinks for a second. Back to the point, we would need a new enemy to kind of explain why he's gained powerful, at least from my perspective, because why would Goku train up someone to this point if he's
I don't know,
already
tell us,
strong
man.
state? Can you speak up?
He said,
Tell us.
why would
Yes.
Goku train up? Tell us.
That's true. So, we have plenty of options, so who here has seen DBS Broly? Not gonna do spoilers. Okay, good. Everyone should have. Because we're at Dragon Ball Convention for sure. Anyways, so Toriyama and Toritaro, they basically agreed to make a non-canon character canon. So, we can throw that logic out there that potentially any Z villain potentially could reappear, like as a final thing to prove to Oob that he can defeat someone without Goku's help. The most logical person I came up with would be Baby from GT. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Dragon Ball GT. I know a lot of my friends.
But don't you think that'd be a better way than to make it canon is to have like Baby jump into Super. Let me get a little bit louder. Maybe have Baby jump into Super and maybe rework his character like they did Broly. Because the first Broly we had was just a basically Rage Machine Baby.
I mean, he was cool, but the origin story though was like.
He's so cool,
Like,
but
how
he's so dumb.
Well, it's not explained, like, when he's, where they get Kakarot from. Like, it feels like it's a plot hole, because, yes, Goku's crying, but we never explained, like, in the movie.
Yes, but as we've had discussions on this before,
That's true.
he was in the pod next to him. You don't think if your baby, like if you go to a baby ward now, there's a baby laying next to a baby, and the baby, the mom and dad's going, oh, little Sarah. The person's not gonna go Sarah, but then again you gotta think that maybe Broly, then again you gotta think that maybe Broly's some kind of genius to know words that like a baby knows. So there's that.
That is also a good point. He would also be really intelligent as a baby to remember the Kakarot.
At 28 years old, Kakarot. I remember us being in a pod together in the crowd.
Like, you remember all this time.
Yeah, like something like that.
Let's get to a point why we chose Baby. So the main aspect of his character that we both agree with is the mind control aspect.
Yeah.
That key point could allow other characters to be controlled where Oob is basically forced that he
Let
has
me
to
interrupt
fight.
for a second.
Yeah.
The only reason I agree with that is because didn't do say characters like Krillin, Goten, Trunks, Piccolo would get a power boost. And they've been left in the dark, you know? I mean, come on. Everybody knows it's the Goku/Vegeta show. You
We
know?
all want to see him fight again. This is the perfect way to do that.
But yeah, and if they did bring Baby back where he could possess people like in GT, it would be a good way to give them a power to maybe have Goku. If you brought out MUI on him, that would just be a wash. You know, he's gonna wash him. So have Goku come out like Kaioken 20 times, Super Saiyan Blue or something.
I don't know.
Having to beat like grade 8, maybe possibly make it Super Saiyan 4.
No, I think we're going a little too
Well,
far.
no, you could with Baby, have it like a baby-specific transformation like Super Saiyan Rose.
Well, I guess you kind of need a gimmick if you have a new season down with that. Because
Yeah.
I think MUI by that point, depending how far we get to NZ, it's definitely not going to be a new thing. Because all we got right now is the granola bar, and that's not over yet. So we didn't have much to discuss with that aspect because we haven't seen it yet.
Did you just say granola bar?
Oh, I meant the granola arc.
Huh?
I thought I heard granola art.
I thought he said granola bar.
Yes, granola arc. Yeah, I totally said it.
I was like, this dude running around passing out granola bars as he gets beat up. I don't know, bro.
vegetables are Goku's.
I mean, that's, no, granola bars apparently. No, wait, yeah, right? In the manga he did get, oof.
But yeah, at this point we're gonna move on to our Q&A session because we honestly want the audience's feedback because literally a lot of this is...
And so far this has been an absolute shit show.
Exactly. I mean, to be fair to everybody, it's our first panel. We've never done something like this before, and I think we did all right. So, is there anything else we can talk about?
Bro, let's open up the floor, we have questions and answers, let them challenge our brains
All right.
if they want to.
If you want to ask a question,
What's up,
just
brother?
raise your hand.
Alright, so the problem with Boo is you gotta bring him in and he's gonna be way weaker than everyone. So you gotta get him up to speed and
Yeah, Boo,
power real quick.
Yeah.
So Boo, the evil Boo, got his power from absorbing people. But we can have like a good version of that, where people don't get hurt. And so Oob, he gets stronger by being around
Kind of like
other
Maju and GT?
Kind of, no, but he gets stronger just by being around other people.
Sorry.
Like he absorbs power, but like in a
So you
non-parasitic.
mean similar to like a spirit bomb, but it's like his presence there can
Yeah,
actually...
and that could go into him being killed by the spirit bomb, help with that too. And so that's an easy way. You put him with Goku, you put him with Vegeta, these powerful people. And so it's like, oh, you're hanging around with these powerful people. Now you are powerful now. And it's just an instant
Well,
sort of...
you could do that. You could do an ass pull like that, you know.
That's what they would probably do.
But that's probably what they're gonna do. You know, they never show like age training montage. Gonna do a montage. You know, they never show that. So
You know, I think would be interesting if they give Oob the Dragon Disc, because that hasn't been turned into anything yet.
facts.
That could be a useful
Wait.
move to utilize it.
Anybody got any other questions?
Yes.
Or like maybe a suggestion, since everybody is all, well, since Goku and Vegeta are all planet fighting Granola and all that, maybe by the time they get back, everybody like Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, and Gohan, they're supervising the kids, and also Majin Buu is also with them, and since Majin Buu has a durability going on, they can also use him to train with.
In a time chamber or just out in general?
Either out or in the time chamber.
That's a good idea, actually. Put them in a time chamber with a Super Saiyan Trunks and Goten.
I do remember that Toritaru said, either in interview or
Yeah,
something,
that's
he
it.
mentioned that Oob was being trained by King Champa. Now, we don't know if this is canon yet, but since this is Toritaru saying this, I believe we can trust him relatively, at least on that aspect.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions? Raise your hand. If not, we will conclude here.
Yeah. Anybody got anything else?
No one's got anything, is that...
All right, we got some.
Oh.
We got two people.
Okie dokie. We don't know plans right now, but my opinion as just a dude, I would love to see an arc in if and when Super returns. I mean, we all know it's going to return. It's just when it's somebody gonna say, okay, I need a new Bentley or something, you know. But anyway, I would like to see multiple arcs to do some universe building because we did get in the Tournament of Power, we got multiple universes built, you know, and excuse me.
I honestly want to see what they would do with the Pride Troopers because we do get an aspect of how powerful these people are, but we don't know what led this build-up. Like,
Yeah.
we do get some backstory, a few characters here and there. But
Yes,
I
but
honestly
he's
want to
asking
see...
specifically about planets into all of the home of the,
Oh, he's talking
of the
specifically.
good Saiyans. Well, not good, but good Saiyans.
That's something else I also want to see. But
Yeah, as I was trying to say, I would like to see an arc of Sadala, like Goku or Vegeta go there. Because, like, okay, the Broly movie, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, spoilers alerts, I'm gonna say something right now. In the Broly movie, after Broly and Vegeta transform into Gogeta and fight Broly, he's down back in his base, he goes back to Broly and he says, you know, I'm not Goku, I'm Kakarot, and leaves him food, stuff like that, right? So, if they did something like that, had like Goku and Vegeta show up, because like Vegeta made a promise. Vegeta made a promise in the universe battle, the Tournament of Power. Made a promise that I'm gonna teach you how to be a Saiyan, you know, and I want to meet your king. So, after the Moro arc, it would be great to go to Universe 6, Universe 6, Planet Sadala.
you mean the granola arc.
Yeah, Granola arc, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Go to Planet Sadala and meet the other Saiyans, and then like it would be cool to kind of see those other Saiyans in awe of Goku and Vegeta, of the power they have. But, you know, have Goku be like, you know, you can have it too, guys. You know, however, I can't do it. I'm not going to even try.
No, that would be definitely a huge thing if you had multiple, like, Super Saiyans.
Yeah, because, I mean, you got
That's
Kaba.
hard for me to comprehend.
Get you in just a second, bud. I mean, you got Kaba that's Super Saiyan, you got Khalifa that's Super Saiyan, and then Kale is Super Saiyan now, and then they made Khalifa go Super Saiyan 2. So imagine the world building and the I'm looking for a word. Hold on. Lack of words. Awesomeness of seeing multiple other Super Saiyans from a different universe, and then possibly later on down the road in Super, whether manga version or video version, have another tournament survival arc and see their progress against, see if they've gotten God or Berserker or Blue or something like that, or their own versions of it.
I personally wouldn't want another survival arc, but I would be interested in seeing our universes compete individually, similar to how the Universe 6 saga happened.
Yeah.
Because I could see a possibility where the Angels and our people compete. It's like, hey, we want another shot at this. And Goku's like, great, I'll agree with that.
We have one more question.
yes.
I'll get back to you, buddy.
But you want
Would
me-
you be more interested in seeing Goku training Broly or Goku go with Surprise?
Say it again.
Would you be more interested with Goku going back and hanging out with Broly, training with him, or going to the Surprise with Jiren? What would be a better arc?
Dude, that's a hard one. Because there's a lot of people that love Jiren and think Jiren is just basically unstoppable.
Because Goku did acknowledge his second prize to go race
Yeah.
with Broly.
I believe, okay, strictly my opinion, I like Broly a lot. I like, you know, the Gogeta a lot. I think it would be a more fun arc for Goku to show up on Vampa, get his butt beat by Broly. By Goldie. We're playing hockey now.
by the goalie?
Get his butt beat by Broly, and then show Broly progress, because when he goes Legendary Super Saiyan, say it again?
Because Broly right now can't control him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when he goes Legendary Super Saiyan, the green hair, and he's all like, you know, when he does that, he can't control it. He's gonna need somebody like Goku, and even Vegeta, because Vegeta, when he showed up in the Saiyan arc, he could control the Ozaru form. You know, Goku could never control that. That has been said. You know, he maybe could, maybe could not.
We don't know if that's a hypothetical.
Yeah. So having Vegeta to teach him to keep his mind, which Vegeta a teacher.
I mean, it could be. Why not?
I mean, if you want to get beat like a child.
He has the capability to do it, though.
It would make the most sense, especially with Broly being in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I agree. It would make the most sense, because Vegeta's more mentally set. I mean, my opinion, they've made Goku dumber in Super. Okay, they made this dude like, pardon this, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say this word, but they made him kind of retarded.
I will say, in my opinion, I think the Pride Troopers, in my opinion, would be more interesting, because the thing is that we know these are like a galactic police force. So the idea to throw in a villain that's big enough, that makes sense to bring Goku in for that.
And it could be like a Power Rangers thing too.
I personally like to see them take on Jiren, the person that killed Jiren's teacher too.
Now
That would be
is
good.
something that
We got
would be
one
open. I
behind you.
really like the idea.
I think it's Belmont, so I think it'd be interesting to see him
All right,
fight.
what you got, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you think Boo's role in Super would be with him being mentioned during the preliminary tournament, before the tournament of power, when he is a baby as Goku states. But in Z, he's about an 8 to 9-year-old kid.
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you think this will be interpreted in Super when Boo comes of age?
Well, first of all,
we have 10
Didn't they
years
say
to stay.
Super was before the end of Z though?
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
But
because
that's
they
what
changed the
one thing
canon.
I was gonna say, and I'll let him take over. First thing I was gonna say, we'd have to get to the end of Z first of all, in Super. Right now, we're all over the place. You know, we're supposed to be in this bullcrap gap, right? In my opinion, it's like he forgot, we got 10, but I think eventually we'll come to an end of Z, and his usefulness will be.
I think it's gonna be really important, because I feel like if anything at the end of Z that I wish they displayed was why Uke was as important as he is, because he's supposed to represent the next generation. That's why it's specifically brought up. There needs to be a reason why he is stronger than where he was at that point. Like at that point, it makes perfect sense because all we have is Z. But because this is being retconned, they're making, instead of like 10 years of peace, it's now like 4 years of fighting, 6 years of peace as far as we know, because we don't know.
Yeah, because we don't, right now we're in the what?
We're not
We're
the
in
creators,
the
like we can
granola
only
bar.
guess where it's gonna go.
Yeah. But that's why we said at the beginning, when we were kind of dicking around a little bit, that he wouldn't be mentioned if there's not something coming. With the Dragon Ball room now, I believe they have more people to help Toriyama because he doesn't like to stay on task. Everybody knows that. So there's more people to help him get the story
I will
narrowed down instead of launches over here, but that's
Well, I will admit what's good right now, if you are following Super to how it is, when he's first mentioned, he's slowly being rolled in. So you first year meeting from King Yama, it's like, oh, he's being reincarnated. Then you get another arc where he's brought up to be brought in tournament power, and it's like, oh, he's not ready yet. And now, when you reach the point later on,
Do you think he's gonna be brought in the same way, like during the tournament fight?
I think they will reuse that, but I think first they have to utilize to slowly roll in, because they want to, in my opinion, I think Super is making Uba a better character, because we're actually learning more about him. They're trying to build him, and just think, because at the end of Z, we meet him, and that's kind of it. We don't know that much about him.
all we know at the end of Z, that little area of end of Z is reincarnation of Boo, and he's a little kid that can hang with Goku.
We're not talking the manga, right?
No,
Okay.
well,
There's a mention, I won't go in, I won't spoil.
no, go ahead.
Well, I've read them out.
I think we're all good here, so go ahead.
He's in the manga, he does appear somehow, and I think that's the line.
We're trying
Hold on,
not to
hold on.
spoil the Granola arc specifically. We're trying to go into more of what we Samaritans at right now.
Defend his family.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be better if they kind of did a backstory, like where is his family from?
Yes, that's what we're hoping for. We're hoping we'll get, Toriyama's been notoriously terrible at world building. Hopefully with the Dragon Room and Tortaro and all them, we can get some kind of cohesiveness
We
of
do.
the story.
The thing I've been consistent on is every fighter has their own things that they're striving for, like Goku wants to
Yeah, yeah.
Vegeta and Goku are going back and forth on who's the strongest.
Yeah.
Who is fighting for his family.
Well, Oob's gonna have to be like a trump card, like he's gonna be like everybody's like, there's only like Piccolo on Earth. Like a bad guy's gonna come to Earth or something and be like, oh, it's only Piccolo there. He's only like 1,000,000 power level or whatever. We're just bullshit power level, right? 1,000,000 power
We
level.
don't know what it means.
And Oog's sitting there in the wing like Super Saiyan God, Goku level, right? And he comes to the rescue. That would be a way to introduce him after his training. But I would like to see the whole thing.
Like we
From-
said, we have no
from-
idea how they would do that. There's plenty of ways that he could possibly be introduced to take on Tar. He even doesn't have to be where Goku's at. He just has to be at a good enough point where he can take on something significant.
We have one more question right here,
Yeah.
and then back there.
Is that they weren't
Huh? No. No, absolutely
No,
not.
I'm here to learn, bro. I want to learn about
Okay.
Dokkan.
Well, we're not talking about Dokkan right now. We're not talking about Dokkan right now.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about Oog's role in Super.
Oh, yeah, but right now, I mean.
Oh, we're talking about
That gentleman back there brought up a valid point about
Bronx.
Sadala. No, not Bronx Roll. The guy in the backwards black hat.
Yeah.
Came with going to Planet Sadala, and I was telling him, as we all know, that Toriyama is virtually terrible at world building. But it would be great to see an arc with Sadala and learning.
I disagree. I think he's great at world building, but he's terrible at going to those worlds. We got 11 universes and we're still dealing with granola. It's stupid.
That's why we're here.
That's what I think.
That's a valid point, though.
Why
You know,
are
I'm
we
not
still
saying he's
We
universal?
got another
Yeah,
question?
so it was actually about Sadala.
Okay.
It's that, Goku likes to get those random ideas out of nowhere where he just remembers something. And so I'm thinking Goku thinking about Broly, thinking about the great fights he had, and he remembers that Broly looks a lot like that Kale girl that he saw. And he remembers that Kale learned to control her range. So he's like, then he just teleports away, and no one knows what he's doing.
That would be cool.
Comes back with Broly, and he's like, hey, we're going to teach Broly how to do this. We're going to Universe 6 to be Kale's.
Well, that would build upon his idea back there, and that
It's a
would
good
be
set
great.
for it. And then
But like she said, Vegeta turning into a teacher would actually be a good thing to see, because
Well, we
you've seen it a little bit, with Kaba and the Universe 6 tournament, I think it was Universe 6, 7
Yeah,
tournament.
but he just beat up Kaba though.
Yeah, well, he did just
Take
beat
him
him up,
there
but-
until he turned.
Huh?
You taught him a lesson. You taught him a
Yeah,
lesson.
he did teach me a lesson.
But he teaches you.
But any other questions?
Well, AJ, we're
What-
forgetting that Gohan could be relevant to being teacher. Because you remember,
Yeah, Gohan 2. Gohan 2 could be a good
because there's
teacher
a lot
because
of
he's a rage
world
monster,
building
basically.
in the games that's
I mean,
brought
he's
up
valid.
that he writes a book
Yeah, but
Yeah.
about key control. So if they roll that,
I got a question in the back.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get you.
Is it possible, like, since Boo is like the reincarnation of Boo, is it possible that he would age faster?
we don't know.
I would say no. I would say the reason he wouldn't age faster is because he is the reincarnation of Boo. He would have some of the Majin properties, possibly. I mean, the wish was made on the Dragon Balls, and the Dragon Balls are very powerful items, special artifacts.
We're not the writer. We have no idea what they're gonna do.
I think he aged slower.
We're just guessing.
Yeah. So, anybody else?
Actually, you have a question right there.
Now you have fucked up and to argue whether Gohan or Vegeta. I mean, it could even be both, but to me, like with Broly, his whole issue, with Broly, like his whole issue was that his father basically saw his nature as just violent and monster, and that's it. So like.
Well, he basically gave his son Stockholm.
Yeah, essentially, basically like that. He just utilized that to get revenge. With Vegeta, he's also had that rage of like, I have to be like this, I gotta be like this, and then he's like, no, I don't gotta be like that. I can be a father, I can be.
Well, I mean,
Well, how
there's
would you
always the
separate-
point that the reason Vegeta turned the way he did is because Bulma's got some magical stuff.
True, certain. What to go from trying to love the planet to now becoming the protector of the planet, that's like a huge leap.
And
that
all I'm
Broly
gonna
was on.
say is Bulma has some magical
Well,
stuff.
Obama got that good.
He went from
That's not
like,
up
I'm the prince of all things, I'll blow your face
Well,
off.
AJ,
Hold on, man, hold on. I'll blow your face off to, I'm gonna protect that.
AJ,
That's my
let me
ball.
speak.
Had to get my phone off, my fish.
I only speak, okay. Anyways, I just want to say this. The type of rage that Broly has compared to Vegeta, in my thing, is two separate things. They're motivated by two completely different things. And it's kind of hard to just say that, oh, because this guy has anger problems, he can help this other guy with anger problems.
No, I'm not saying it's an anger problem. I'm saying that Broly's problem is it's a nature versus nurture argument.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's basically what Broly is.
What she's basically saying is, instead of, okay, you have a kid, okay, you're trying to raise your kid. Instead of beating your kid, hold on, hear me out. Instead of beating your kid to make him
All right,
behave,
let's go somewhere.
you work with him,
Yeah.
Yeah,
When he
yeah,
falls
yeah,
down, you
yeah.
bust his knee. You don't automatically run over there, oh, I'm so sorry. You go, that shit sucks on.
We got a guy in the back who wants to ask a question.
Just to tap in on why I think Vegeta would be a good teacher for Broly.
Uh-huh.
Not only did he use the same tactics that Goku did for Boo with Kaba, but only I think he could do it best because he was able to not use the primal instinct of the great ape and still be able to him the great ape.
That would count.
That's a little add-on.
Okay. Okay.
That is true.
Frieza!
Yes, okay.
I'll kill you, Frieza! I'm right here.
Alright, here's my question. So Elder Kai gave Goku his life in order to resurrect him in the Buu side. So
Yeah.
one of the things I've wondered was, does Goku lifespan of almost like 1,000 years now because of that.
Nerd.
Well, the walking encyclopedia is sitting right here, so.
No, don't ask me anything.
I don't know the answer to that.
To be honest,
With the Elder Kai giving up his life, would that have expanded Goku's years of living? What do you mean, like 1,000, like, 1,000 years?
yeah.
It never
We
stated.
don't know.
Elder Kai said he's got about 1,000 years of him left anyway, so.
But like,
Yeah, but
I
even
think
just because that was
transfer
stated.
over. Like,
Yeah.
just because you're 1,000 doesn't mean you get to have 1,000 more lives
Yeah.
to live just because someone was that old.
You literally gave him his life, not
What if
Yeah,
each-
not
what if
lifespan,
each
it was just a
year, like, took a year
lifetime
off?
with everything that how long I've
I
lived.
think it's conflicting life and lifespan.
Yeah,
He gave him his life, but he didn't give him the span of it. Like you think about if you're trying to get someone like down from the other world, you're trying to pull them up. The technicality is like you're not giving them like 1,000 years. You're technically giving them a way to come back to life. Technically, it's a little iffy on that.
All right, anybody else? Questions? Opinions? Want to throw something
There we
at
go.
me?
Yeah, throw one.
What you got?
Yeah.
Gohan's rage versus, that's my Bulma's rage. Who has the bigger power boost?
What's the first one?
Gohan's rage versus, that's
Well,
my
I'm
Bulma.
glad you know. Let me handle this one,
You
please.
don't remember that?
No, let me handle this one, please.
Or Krillin,
Let's talk about
dies.
Gohan's rage for a minute, okay? Gohan's rage in the Cell Saga, to me, my opinion, is absolutely dumb.
So
His
now,
friends are getting the crap beat out of him. His dad's getting the crap beat out of him. And 16's head gets rolled in and Cell steps on. Really, bruh?
So Goku going Super Saiyan versus Vegeta's rage then.
Power scaling is Super Saiyan.
Krillin dying, Goku going Super Saiyan.
Frieza.
Yeah, versus.
That, to me, is an iconic thing in the series. Like,
There's nothing else that matches that type of transformation. There's
yeah.
That
so
still
much
gives him
buildup.
cold shivers to
I would
the
say Trunks' transformation, future Trunks.
Oh, yeah.
I think
That is the next one.
I think another one that's good is when Trunks comes back after he slices Frieza in half, and Goku shows up, and he's telling Goku about the stone. He goes, "I'm a Super Saiyan too," and Goku's like, "Show me," and he goes Super Saiyan, and then Goku's just like, and it's automatic, He's all like, "Roar," and he's just like, and then he one fingers him, like.
You have your hand up right here?
Wait, who had it? My bad.
So, since funny,
Oh, get right back to you, bud. Sorry.
funny you just brought up Gohan and the Androids matches for Washington upstairs. Gohan wasn't really getting angry at
all.
Cell's death.
At all.
Princess's death. It was completely geared toward that he finally understood he had to let go of everything he was holding back to fight to protect.
But it took that long? Somebody come stomp your mom and dad in front of you, you gonna try to fight him right now. Right now. I don't care. If he's 9 foot tall, he's stomping your mom and dad out, you won't try.
But it took somebody telling him, like, I understand your love and passion for life, but you need to understand that you have to fight for that compassion in life.
To answer your question, here's my perspective. I think when 16 died, Gohan realized that death has consequences. Like his dad could have died.
Piccolo! He should have learned then.
That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying the whole time?
But I'm saying he could have remembered it. Because someone
Okay, we got two, okay, all right. We gotta get our questions, because we got 5 minutes.
Yeah, last
Gotta
question.
get some questions. No, not last question.
You said you have 5 minutes.
Yeah, we can go.
We got 5 reasons.
That's it.
It was you and then you, right?
I think he had one more now.
Oh, no, he can go.
Okay.
All right.
What would happen if, like, the Grand Priest or, like, the Grand Sentinel finds out that Beerus and Misa are breaking the rules?
I get folded like an omelet.
I mean, that's what what should happen, but Goku's relationship with Zeno, I think he would just be like, oh, man, just having fun with his friends, you know, something like that. Because, I mean, it could go either way. He could snap, you know, he could Thanos everybody, and there's, you know, or he could just, that's my buddy, you know, you can do what you want.
To be fair, he snaps Frost out for just trying to jump the seats, whereas
Yeah.
he's trying to destroy everyone in the seats.
Say what? That the Angels applied something? I think they were cutting the promo pictures to make you think that. But I do believe the head priest has an ulterior motive. Because I believe Zeno, we see him childlike, you know, he's basically a child. And this adult is being ran by a child. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you were, okay, say this is an autonomous nation, right? And there's a child emperor, and you're serving that child emperor, you're gonna be like, bro, you're fine, get the hell out of here.
Like they slow the man.
Yeah. All right, your question, bud?
Say it's potential, right?
Yeah.
We seen that in the tournament that the Universe 6 Saiyans can achieve Super Saiyan like that.
We talking about the tingly back thing? Because I hate that shit too.
No, I'm just saying, as far as like them gaining transformations.
Yeah.
Okay. And then,
I felt they gained their transformations too quick.
okay. So, do you think Gohan, Broly, or the Universe 6 Saiyans have more potential?
Rolling.
I think the same potential still exists.
But it's been said that Gohan has more potential than Goku.
Well, to explain that Gohan was a half Saiyan, that was the original explanation. So the thing is, it could just be a genetic.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
It's been said several times by a lot of people that Gohan has more potential. Yes.
I mean, potential doesn't mean anything if you're not gonna do nothing with it.
I know that.
Very good.
If you take Gohan after he trained with Super, let me back up a little bit, so. But if you take, so everybody can see what I'm saying, you know. If you take Gohan and train in Super, where he's back to, I think he got back to Majin, or not, Mystic Gohan level. If you take him and you say at that point, you gotta stop being a scholar, you start fighting, I believe he'll outpace Broly's potential. Because Broly, however,
We're talking about
He
one
does
guy
have-
fighting almost his whole life versus one guy who kind of retired and became a scholar.
he does have that chick, the yellow chick.
Sheila.
I forgot her name. I'm sorry. I forgot her name. Okay? So you know, he can have a my booba. You know, so
I said, she saw, I was like, I gotta stay with him. I gotta stay with him.
right? And Broly's like, she got cake.
We'll have some green babies up
Yes.
there. That's what I want to say.
Don't you ever see the limit of
Green, no, they gonna have some,
Gohan and gets killed by the end.
Yeah, but separate timeline.
Separate timelines.
Separate timeline.
What?
Separate timeline.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. We're gonna finish this. We got one more question, and that's it, guys.
Oh.
Well, it's just a suggestion, it's not a question, but I want Super to be just a.
Oh wait, I forgot. And then him.
His
Then
hand
him,
goes
and we're
up
done.
first.
Alright. Well, I want Super to be just as brutal as it was in the Cell games whenever it came down to the wire for Cell.
Oh yeah, I would much rather them to throw blood back in it.
Because.
It's like playing Mortal Kombat without the blood going on, bro. You don't do that.
Because if Gohan failed to turn Super Saiyan, nobody would have been able to be wished back because everyone died before.
Was there no blood with Laura? I don't know. Was there no blood with Laura?
All right.
In the manga.
What's up?
We're talking about.
All right, hold up.
It's for the
both and Uber on margins. Could they actually merge?
Who? Oob and Boo?
Yeah.
Maju.
It'd be like Manju, like we said earlier. But I think the only way we'd get that is if we had somebody that was like Baby, who is powerful enough to, you know, make everybody fight your boys, you know?
Like, you need a reason for the fusion to
Yeah,
happen.
because
It wouldn't
if you just did it, a lot of Dragon Ball fans are pretty touchy how you handle their Dragon Ball, you know? If you give people fusions for no reason, they get kind of pissed off about it.
We get pissed off at everything.
Yeah, so in order to do it, you have to have a reason for him to do it, you know? It would be like me going Super Saiyan right now for no reason.
That is true.
Hey, Trunks and Goku doing it.
Well, that's true too, but I think they explained it down the line that since Goku was a Super Saiyan
It's
when
the
he,
S cells thing that Toriyama mentioned,
Yeah,
which
the
is
S cells.
complete bull crap.
but before the S cells, didn't they say that something to this effect that because Goku was a Super Saiyan when he conceived Goten?
No,
Did
that's
they say that?
That's headcanon.
No, yeah, we just made that up. We
Okay,
just trying to explain
okay.
nonsense.
I'm wrong. I make mistakes. All right, folks. All right. That's gonna be it. Thank y'all for coming to the panel. It's the first one I've ever done. I hope you enjoyed it. Let my boy Drew help me out.
Thanks, okay? Work.
And have fun at Kamehacon.